everyone. We are starting our session. So let me just take 2 minutes to introduce our initiative, WWW. As some of our participants must know who we are and what are we doing. So for them who do not know us, as we are live on Facebook, so WWW is an initiative of contact-based Banglanatak.com with support from US Consulate General. For the past 2 years, we are working to increase women participation in leadership roles at the workplace. And to do that, we are trying to build a solution support network of entrepreneurs and mentors. And so far, we are glad to share that we have been able to connect more than 250 entrepreneurs in this network, and they belong to North Bengal, the whole of West Bengal, North Bengal, East Sikkim, Nepal, and Nagaland, and soon there will be participants from Mizoram too. So, and we also have more than 100 mentors and investors from Nepal, Bangladesh, USA. So we are working in this initiative, and as under the initiative, we organize regular mentoring sessions on every Monday under the hashtag Mentoring Mondays. So our today's session is on tourism. For the entrepreneurs who are in tourism, they have shared some of their challenges that they face. And we have our guest with us, Mr. Amitava Bhattacharya. So he is the founder director of Banglanatak.com, and I have with me my colleague Sneha. She will be moderating today's session. So we are already running late, so I won't take much of your time, and I will just over to Sneha. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Amitava. I am Sneha. I'll be moderating this session. Now, the very interesting part is tourism is something which all of us know. Everybody, all of us, at some point of time have gone somewhere, visited some place, come back with lots of memories. This session is particularly dedicated to bring tourism out of its conventionalities. So this session will primarily put people at the center of tourism. We have with us our very esteemed speaker who actually champions the cause of culture tourism development. Mr. Bhattacharya is an engineering graduate from IIT Kharagpur and a Chevening Gurukul Scholar from London School of Economics. He is also the receiver of Indian Responsible Tourism Award by Outlook in 2023. What he has been championing is primarily how community-led tourism, how community-led cultural tourism can actually not only improve the fate of tourism, but also improve the fate of the local community who are residing in the places. So I will not waste much time, and I will put the floor open for Mr. Bhattacharya. And in any case, if any of our participants has any question, please feel free to address it so that we can have a more customized discussion. So over to you, Mr. Bhattacharya.
Thank you, Sneha. Thank you, Anisha. As Sneha rightly pointed out, that tourism is a big subject. But I think it's very important to see how tourism evolved. There used to be a global organization which is called WTO, World Tourism Organization. And that used to be primarily done by the hoteliers. They used to manage it. And then the prefix got added, which is UN, UNWTO, United Nations. And when UNWTO is in action to talk about the tourism, that time all UN goals are applicable for tourism. Interestingly, as you all know, that UN is always convention or charter based. So previously there used to be Millennium Development Goals, and now it's called Sustainable Development Goals. So now tourism is actually aiming towards achieving or contributing towards sustainable development. And that's why, as Neha said, we are championing the community part, this, that. But the question is, how about the entrepreneurship? Because by definition, entrepreneurship is solving a problem. And by definition, social entrepreneurship is solving a problem of the society. Now, there is not much of difference between entrepreneur and social entrepreneur, except the fact that in case of any entrepreneurship, profit goes to the entrepreneur. In case of social entrepreneurship, profit has to be plowed back to the community. Profit, if any. Now, tourism is a very important area and an evolving area and a most challenged area. Because we have seen the COVID times have given the most rough time to tourism. However, post-COVID in India, if you see the maximum boom is in tourism. So very interesting graph that we can see. There is an interesting change in pattern of tourism also. Our domestic tourists, they were not much eager to go to the domestic places. That's why there used to be two words, inbound and outbound, amongst the tour operators. Inbound means international tourists coming in. Outbound means our tourists going abroad. But this domestic tourist movement within the country that used to be seen in a quite a light manner. Whereas now in reality, even if the international tourist inbound is quite good, because Government of India has taken major steps to give visa, this, that, e-visa. At the same time, domestic tourism is substantial. And if you, I don't know if you follow, but yesterday I was noticing that even in Mann Ki Baat program, Honorable Prime Minister has actually said that go for the heritage places while mentioning about Shantiniketan. Now, I will also mention that in 2021 January, Honorable Prime Minister has actually given the call to people to go for domestic tourists, domestic tourism to promote. And he has mentioned quite a few initiatives, and one of them was ours. But most important part, how that got related into business. Now, as we are more interested in the community part, so we followed that part. Just to tell you that Chorida, there is a village in Purulia who make Chou mask village, a Chou mask. They sold 2.5 lakhs of masks daily directly to customers. Now, when I'm speaking to the young entrepreneurs, my suggestion, my first thing is this, that I just wanted to give you the basic of tourism, and which, because there is no point going detail because you all are aware. I'm rather willing to hear your questions and I will try to answer. So questions, please. Feel free, raise your hand, ask questions, and I'll be very, very happy to answer whatever I can answer. If I cannot, I will note down the question and I will definitely ensure that you get the right answer from another expert to ensure that you are on the track. It helps your business.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. I have shared a question that we got on our Facebook Live.
Okay.
So, Preksha Sharma, she is from Darjeeling and she is asking, should we focus on sustainable tourism or regenerative tourism? The current scenario in tourism sees the need to regenerate and then work on sustaining it.
Now, what's her name you say?
Preksha.
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 Preksha. Dear Preksha, thank you for your question. the first thing is that, we don't honestly need to learn sustainability from anyone else, because we have a sustainability in practice in India, in rural India, from the very beginning. We are actually spoiling it now. Why? Because we are overcapacitating and we are not keeping the desired framework in place. So there cannot be anything which is that the choice is between sustainable or not sustainable. It is the human greed which is actually making it unsustainable. So your question is, should we make it sustainable? It has to be. Because for youth, it's your world. And you have to be responsible for the society where you live in, because at the end of the day, your business is supposed to help the society to grow. So automatically, that is the first step. Now, as you are from Darjeeling, interestingly in Darjeeling, if you look at Darjeeling, about 7 years back, I did a study that how many of the visitors who have traveled to Darjeeling have seen the culture of Darjeeling. And the result was extremely poor, less than 3%. So then onwards, we started studying Darjeeling culture, art and culture. And we found out there are 16 communities who have their fantastic art and culture, and they live in the villages, both handicraft and their performing art, as well as the lifestyle itself. And I now know that there are a few organizations who are actually trying to promote such tourism, and it's good. But there are few problems, as I find, that, the parking is an issue. So obviously that needs to be worked on. But even then, there are many places where somebody can take, because anywhere in India, especially in Bengal or Northeast or Darjeeling, wherever, that, and one can Darjeeling, Kalimpong, Karshiang, that entire world. But planning the sustainable tourism, planning the tourism in a responsible manner, I think is the most important part. And be it a homestay or be it an ancillary unit to tourism, be it a restaurant or whatever. So regenerative and sustainable both are not really the choices, it's a must. Anything else, Omipsha? I think Kya Das wants to say something. Yes, Kya? Go ahead. Omipsha, go ahead.
Are you trying to say something? Kya Das Chaudhary, I guess she is not.
No.
I guess she is not.
No. Yes, go ahead, please. If you have any more questions.
No, I don't have any more question on our live chat.
Okay, okay.
Then
Yes.
I would like to ask a question as a moderator, sir. Since we are actually doing this session to take tourism out of its conventionality, let's go back to the title of this particular session, that it says tourism for her. So automatically there is an urge towards inclusivity. You're talking about making tourism, or rather creating an ecosystem, which obviously single players cannot do. It's about creating a network of like-minded people who are willing to bring a change using tourism as a tool. So how do you envision that ecosystem to be? And how do you envision women to be champions of that ecosystem so that we can actually come on and say that, inclusivity is not just in theory, but in practice as well?
See, there are many questions actually involved in this, because one of the very important part is that how can you improve the network amongst the tourism entrepreneurs, the young tourism entrepreneurs. Now, I will give you an example. I think about 6 months back, I was in Ooty, and there the Outlook Responsible Tourism, they were holding a program. And there we saw a number of young entrepreneurs who are doing excellent and very unique work. So obviously a WhatsApp group, today being technology being the lead, and other groups, they have made. And those are really helpful. Even I'm a part of one group called Ooty Group, and they are few of the like-minded people of my age, so we are there. I met a gentleman called D.P. Chaudhary. He runs a cycling tour in Himalayas for sustainable development. I loved it. So, there is another gentleman who actually does only the responsible tours in the sustainable manner. And I have also David, his name is David. So we are part of a small group, and I see beautiful postings there. So, I'm sure this sort of individual interest-wise groups are created, or they should create, and they should join. But here I must give you an example. Few days back, I was in Florence. I was really very happy to see that in Florence, there is a group called World Heritage Youth for Youth. Now, I will be suggesting that, there is no heritage, or there is no, I don't know if there is anything, but this youth network on heritage, or youth network on different opportunities like heritage should be built. And this can be a e-site, a website, or a WhatsApp group, and then that can establish a better network. Because for sure, whatever is going on till date will not be there tomorrow. That's for sure. So yesterday and tomorrow are two different things, because of the technology and because of the youth. So I think my take on this will be, let youth decide more networking amongst themselves. And entrepreneurship is not doing anything other than innovation. So I think thinking and applying and attempting a new thing is the crux. Wherever people don't see opportunity, an entrepreneur sees an opportunity. And if you read newspaper, if you read the news or through the website or through those the digital pushes, you will see there are every state, every country is talking about problem. Each and every problem is an opportunity for an entrepreneur. So that's how they have to link. Coming to women as a focus. Whatever men can do, women can do. So I don't think, I never differentiated between men and women. So I don't know that, what separate, because let's say if I talk about my own organization, women are the leaders here. We don't have any female quota for project manager or technical heads or this, but all my female colleagues, women colleagues have taken over the lead because share of their interest and their passion and their leadership. So I'm not really sure that, why should we think of tourism for her? Every damn opportunity is applicable. Today, women hockey has got the, women cricket, I think, has got the Asia champion and the first medal. So, And a few days back, I met a lady in Houston. She, an Indian lady, and young, 42, 43 years old, and she heads the moon mission in Houston, in NASA. So I won't comment on tourism for her. Anything which I can do, a young lady can do it better, for sure. I hope, Sneha, I answered you. There is another gentleman, another person who was typing something. Obimsha, can you?
You rightly answered me. Thank you.
Thank you.
And your answer did something very interesting. Your answer actually paved that inclusivity should be the mantra, other than making it one of the agenda. If we can actually see inclusivity as something which is there and which needs to be cultivated with passion and leadership, then it can be achieved. Thank you for your answer. We have another question for you coming from Vedolu. I think this person is involved with Youthnet. And the question is, how can we better develop a tourist circuit in Northeast, particularly for Nagaland? And what can be some of the themes that can be a USP for the case?
Anyone who is, what's the gentleman or the lady's name? Vetolu.
Vetolu, yeah.
With Vetolu, my point here will be, whatever is strength of Bengal need not be the strength of Nagaland. But you need to do a good SWOT analysis that what you will sell for Nagaland, what will be your story for Nagaland, and what will be your unique story for Nagaland. Let's say I was about 4 years back, I was talking to my son and he told me he is going to Zero. I said, what do you know about Zero? He said, Zero has a fantastic music festival. My friends go there, blah, 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 blah. So see how Zero has actually, now it's not only my son, he lives in Bombay, but I was speaking to another chap, is my Kharagpur junior. He said, he lives in San Francisco. He said, last year I went to Zero. You know, amazing. The branding that place has done, the Zero Music Festival, it's actually completely tourism. Now, for them, the challenge will be how to retain the sustainable angle and how can you make it real beneficial for the community. Because if it's only an event-based, only one, now what we have seen in the past, that an event is fantastic, but the event, when you do for 2-3 years, people actually want to go there, even if there is not an event. And during that time, you need to plan how to engage the tourists with the people or with the place. Because the world is no more interested in 12.2. The youth of the world is interested in experiencing the culture. So in Nagaland, what will be that experience? And for that, you don't need to think out of the like tremendous, I mean, unbelievable something. Nobody is expecting a moon there. But what will be your connect? People want to go to Nagaland because they have not been to Nagaland. That's a simple reason. And Nagaland, it's a place where it's not a routine metro place. So they want to go there and they want to experience the nature. They want to experience the organic farming. They want to see the particularly whatever is special in Nagaland, maybe weaving. So plan based on the, so do a good SWOT analysis and then plan your Nagaland tour. And once you do that, and whatever, whoever is doing Nagaland tour, create a forum and then offer your thing and, you know, reach out to the tourism expos that happens in India, there are many. TTAF, there's that. And I believe the Nagaland government is very keen to put up their stall and to promote their branding. So even if not, if the entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs meet them and tell them, I'm sure they will do. And we will be very happy to link you to those guys if need be. And come over and do that and give a presentation, small presentation, do a good media meet. Not spending huge amount. Nobody likes that. Be very creative, be very focused, and be very authentic in presenting your part. And even Indian Association of Tour Operators, IATO, that's another very good place where I don't know if anyone from Nagaland is a member. If not, that's an opportunity. Be a member and promote from that angle. So how can we better develop tourism circuits? One has to do the study. Honestly, I cannot tell you how to do that because but my colleagues have told me to visit Nagaland and I plan to do it soon. If I go there, I will certainly connect you to Vetulu and other friends young friends from Nagaland. Next one, please.
Yeah, we have 2 questions for you. The first one is from Purve Kima Sherpa. She owns a homestay at Darjeeling. And she's saying, rather asking, how to explore our offbeat homestay.
Now, as I said, that people now want to experience. See, let's try to understand 2, 3 things. Nobody goes to any place to stay in a hotel. People visit places to see the place and to meet people or to experience something there. And Darjeeling is a hot topic. So there, somebody reaches. But the point is from there to your homestay. So it's a last mile. So how to do that last mile reach? Now that depends on where you are exactly located and what are there nearby. So in all Darjeeling sites and Darjeeling promotion, you have to be vocal. And again, I think Himalayan homestay or Himalayan tourist associations, all these forums are there. There is another fantastic gentleman called Raj Basu. He is based in Siliguri. So we are happy to connect you to Raj, as well as we are happy to promote your homestay. But you need to plan what unique thing that you will be showing it to or offering it to your guest. And that you need to think over it. And that can be food, that can be tea gardens, that can be your culture, that can be anything, agricultural pattern, that can be the landscape, and of course, the mountains, the mountain range, whatever. And so from there you need to plan. And you need to also mention that, we can only cater to maximum this many number of people. Be very categorical that we have limitation. We only entertain 7 people at a time or 4 people at a time. There is nothing wrong. But don't offer only your homestay. Offer a story. I think that's the crux. There are too many hotels and homestays in the world. But attach a story. Tourists now, the visitors now are looking for a story. They want to have a unique experience. And that's the deal. Next, please.
Thank you for your answer. We have another question for you. Sangeeta Sen, she's a manufacturer of solar equipment, and she asks, how do we include renewable energy in tourism innovation?
See, renewable energy business is a separate business altogether. Now, one can add, if somebody can actually have the renewable energy in addition to this, that's fine. I've been to Athens number of times. One time I went to a gentleman's place in a homestay. He lives almost in a hill. And there he has applied solar things, his choice. But that may not attract more guests at this stage. Because I mean, I have electricity, you have solar, so people will love to go for solar. I really doubt whether we have matured in that direction. Rather, if somebody offers that if you come, you can actually do the solar installation along with us, that you will find a lot of, because people want to contribute now when they are abroad, when they visit, especially international people. And this is the pattern that we are seeing amongst the youth of Germany and US, that they want to contribute. So they don't want to see, they don't want to, rather they want to learn and contribute. So I think that offer can be tried out from your end, that come to our place and we will do an installation at place X. I think that can be a motivating factor for the youth. And that might be interesting.
Thank you. While we don't have any further questions from our participants, if I'm to sum up what you said that tourism is not about the hotel or the transport sector. You know, we have to go beyond the hotel and transportation sector to make tourism come out of its conventional activities. So in that case, you were talking about experience.
Here my take is, tourism is not only hotels and transport. Hotels and transport are very important stakeholders in the game of tourism. But nobody visits a place to stay in a Taj or stay in a homestay. People visit a place to see the place. And that's the most important part. And to see the place, to experience the place, to do the thing, they need to stay. According to their budget, there will be hotels and homestays and this. But these days, what we are seeing, people are preferring homestays. Many people. And even in the transport also, many people are preferring when bicycles are there. Like somebody asked me about the alternative energy, I mean the renewable. I think that's a very positive part, because the bicycles add to the flavor of tourism. Because they want to do themselves. And also they want to do. And these days we see also a lot of travelers are solo travelers. So these are interesting changes which are happening. And as I mentioned, youth wants to contribute. And if you actually go by what I started with, the WTO and even WTO, how it changed the game. If you look at the World Tourism Day last few years, how the themes got changed. For the last 5, 7, 8 years, if you look at it, the themes are tourism for rural development, tourism for economic empowerment, tourism for rethinking tourism, and this year, tourism for green investment. Now, these are all event chapters. So the existing hotel or the transport wallas, they can't contribute to this. Maximum they can say that we have they can little bit, because they can say we store the rainwater. How many hotels store the rainwater? There is another very important tourism, and where actually I know a lady, she has been doing the business. I think she's the only one or the champion one. Her name is Neha, and she does disabled tourism. And that is a unique thing. Because many a times tourism means we think that the people who are able in every way. Whereas people who are not able in every way, they also need to go for different places. I have seen the hotel chains in Germany where starting general manager to the sweeper, whoever joins, they will be given a wheelchair to move around the entire hotel. And it's some 14-story building. If they cannot, that means there is a problem. Then they were tied their eyes so that whether all the brains are working or not. If they cannot, that means there are problems. So thinking needs to change. That is an inclusive tourism. So rather than going by because entrepreneur needs to identify the opportunity. My take on this will be, look for an opportunity which others are not doing and you are able to do. You can, but don't overestimate yourself. That is another very important part. Try to see what you can maximum. And rather than being a singular unit of homestay, if you few of your friends or few of the co-entrepreneurs, if you can form a forum, if you can form an association, informal, there is no cluster. Or if you can form just a group and say, we have 7 homestays run by 7 guys or 4 guys, 4 girls, whatever, and we have the story of women entrepreneurship, blah, 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 and we offer you A, B, C, D. You can pluck your own tea and then come here and do this, or you can do this, or what you can do this. My point is, give a call that people can participate in doing the action, rather than just be in a hotel or and see something. Or another very important point, most of the places, the complaint comes from the international tourists that there is a tendency of calling the artist or the culture, showing the culture at the hotel or at the homestay. Now, please remember, it's not glossiness that matters. It is the matte finish which makes people happy. So let them go. The road is bad. People know that you are not responsible for the road. Let them go. So I think that's, I mean, if there is a dangerous part, inform them. But don't bother. Don't bring the community with newly dressed and with a turban. Don't do that. Whatever they are nicely happy people, because it is the happiness that needs to be spread. And tourists are coming there because it's a relaxing time. And when they're here, let them enjoy that. There is another very important part, plan the evening very well. That is a problem Rajasthan is facing. Okay, fine, daytime, all tour operators take them to various places, A, B, C, fort, palaces, blah, blah, blah. Then, in the evening, there is nothing. So all the hotels just put one artist every day, and if the Bechara plays something, that, I mean, no, nobody is interested to listen to that. So at least keep a library. Or keep a music system. Don't put the great Bollywood numbers, maybe, whatever. So, or keep a local magazine, or maybe an interaction with the local poet, or maybe an interaction with the local weaver, a tea with a local weaver, something like that. Plan the evening engagement. That's very, very important. For the kids, keep some games. Maybe carom or chess or cards. These are, or whatever is there in that place. That's very, very important. And one more thing here, food. Food in Northeast is fabulous. So there, show them how the food, where the things come from, how you go about it. Let them, here probably women can actually take a role. Let them take to the people who cook, Actually, everybody can, but if somebody actually can show them how to cook them, and then next opportunity give them, allow them to cook. See, I know many people, when they get angry, they love to cook. Cook is a big stress reliever. So I think that's very important part. What I'm just giving examples. See, what I'm saying, plan your thing, but think out of the box. Think simple thing. There is nothing, no over-the-counter drug called innovation. That you just have one and tomorrow onwards it will be very innovative. No. There is no OTC drug called sustainable. No. So, whatever you are doing, plan sensibly, plan logically. The definition of responsible tourism is very simple. Whatever is good for community is good for tourism, not the reverse. Please don't think whatever is good for tourism is good for community. No, that's where greed comes in, and that's where it's a big spoil. So ask people, how do they want to be shown to them? Another very important part is, let's say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe it's a sleeping time in many places. May not be in Northeast, but in many places. Don't get a tourist at that time to that village. So, keep that sensibility. So this is how tourism will become more. I can only tell you that tourism is already declared as an industry in Rajasthan. And very soon tourism will be declared as an industry in the country. And once tourism is in the country as industry, the way towards that, it's an amazing path of opportunities. Every small unit need not be a Tata's in a day, but every small unit can contribute to the growth of the world, not only in tourism, but also in inclusive development and industry, responsible industrialization or responsible development. So plan accordingly, think, be in touch. One talk doesn't change the life, but feel free, if you have any question, let us know. We are always happy to reply. And if I, as an individual, if I can contribute to anything like this, it will be my privilege. Is there any other questions, Neha?
Yeah, there are. Actually, very rightly pointed out, so tourism is not about some curated representation, but spontaneous expression of local culture. I think you've already answered one question, which says that slow lifestyle of hills, weather, and limited technological access in remote areas as a challenge to tourism growth. I think the way you answered the entire glossiness part and the love format finish, good to go for people's cultural expressions, actually answers that. But we have 2 simple questions for you at the end. One is how to generate awareness about the importance of guide. One guide, a tour operator from Assam asks you this question. And the last one is a little input, your input on pricing commodities and services as a challenge. How can we have a better pricing strategy for tourism services?
2 very interesting questions. As I'm from West Bengal, I have not seen much of action in guide development. But when I worked in Rajasthan, I got amazed. Fantastic guide development strategy. So my suggestion to the gentleman or the lady who has asked me the question, that take an exposure trip to Rajasthan. Meet the Guide Association president and their entire team. They are very nice people. Every district has a guide association. And of course, on top of that, the state also has it. And even the amount for per day, per trip, everything is driven, very clearly mentioned. And also the time-wise, And the quality of the guides are unbelievable. And it is actually commensurated with the compensation as well as the requirement. I may not need a historical guide, but I might need an anthropological or a photographic. So that's why developing the guiding strategy, I think it is important to meet the Guide Association Chairman President. We are happy to connect you to them. You can interact and you can ask. And I best will be to take an exposure trip or invite them on the off season so that they can contribute. The second one, you see, pricing. Pricing depends on two parts. One is cost plus profit equal to selling price. This is one way of looking. Another way of looking at it is that your target audience, how much they can afford. That is your market. That can also be an influencing factor in deciding your price. And when you introduce something, that time you can actually reduce a little, give a discount as an introductory offer, and then periodically you can revisit the price, and depending on the business or the interest on pricing, you can change the price. But pricing is a very, very important factor. I'll give an example. You know a big brand called Zara. Do you think the cost of material plus profit equal to Zara's sales price? Then what is more, Zara's profit? Then why people buy Zara? Because of the brand, because of the authentic quality that the people who, the buyers, the willing buyers, they will like to pay for the brand value. Let the same thing be produced by me or you. Can we get even 100th of their price? No. Because the two reasons. One, people will like to buy that material from Zara itself. So it's your business strategy. Can you evolve yourself as Zara in your field? Then you can make. Second important, let's say Taj, another branding game. And the more why brand comes? Because quality. Brand comes with quality. So when let's say if somebody buys a Hewlett-Packard laptop and somebody buys a Chinese laptop, the difference is in the battery. I mean, many things. It doesn't matter what warranty they give. But the testing part is not 100%, or even the rejected materials are added there. Whereas in HP quality, it is not allowed. And that's why the Chinese products are less priced. So if somebody wants to go for the pricing, they will go for it. You don't need to accept every business. So you need to plan your business strategy depending on your circumstances. So completely up to you. There is no Bible on what should be the pricing for a homestay or a tour operations. It entirely depends what you are offering and what is your expected audience capacity to buy. You have to analyze that, and then you should do pricing. We have a small Baul ashram, and there we have few rooms. Now there, if somebody wants to stay there, the price is quite high. And if we want, we are getting willing customers because it's not for all. Now that's our strategy. Because we are giving them an ambience of something for which they are going there, and they will not get it anywhere. So we are confident that if somebody wants to experience that, that's the price that they need to pay. So other than cost plus profit, you have to think of value that you are creating. And when you are confident that you have created values, that time put your price accordingly.
Thank you. We have come to the fag end of our session. It was an absolute delight to know about your insights. And we actually have a lot of questions, but because of time limitations, perhaps it's not possible to answer.
Quickly go through the questions.
Okay, one question says that with specific regard to the gender quotient, which says that as security is always a challenge for female stakeholders in tourism business, what can be done to add security while traveling? And the question comes from a tour operator operative in Mizoram.
I really don't know about Mizoram, but why somebody should think that, female traveling in India, I mean, there should, I'm not very sure about it, but if there is a problem in that case, you have to speak to the administration about it, because everything you cannot do, or you actually add, your offer should say, we will have a companion with the guest all the time. Like that, you might have customers for.
I think so far now it ends here, and I can request our participants, if you have any queries, you can write to us at team@womenforeconomy.net, shared in the chat by Dr. Orina Borthon. And I will also request our participants that this Mentoring Mondays is an ongoing endeavor. We do it every Monday, where we bring different experts to you who can help you, guide you in your ideation for entrepreneurship, as well as making your business a success. So next Monday from 4 p.m, we will be inviting other esteemed speakers to talk on the topic creativity and innovation in handicraft business. And with this, we would like to end our today's session. Lots of thanks to Mr. Amitava Bhattacharya for his precious time and his insights. And if any of you want to have more queries or want to know anything more about tourism, please feel free to write to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.